Power. It's the oldest game in human history, and whether you realize it or not, you're already playing it. From ancient kings to modern CEOs, from politicians to that colleague who somehow always gets their way, everyone follows the laws of power. The question isn't whether you're in the game, it's whether you understand the rules. Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power isn't a manual for becoming a villain. It's a survival guide for a world that operates on strategy, not emotion. Think of it as learning the rules of chess when everyone else is already 10 moves ahead. This book teaches you to be aware, so you never become a victim in the game of power that's happening all around you every single day. Let's dive into these laws, because understanding them could change everything about how you navigate your career, relationships, and life. The first law might surprise you. Never outshine the master. Never make your boss, mentor, or leader feel inferior. It sounds counterintuitive, right? We're taught to shine, to stand out. But here's the thing. When you make someone above you feel threatened, you're not climbing the ladder, you're painting a target on your back. Law number 2 is equally crucial. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Friends can betray you out of envy, but a former enemy who becomes an ally has more to prove. It's about understanding human psychology at its core. Law 3 tells us to conceal our intentions. Keep people guessing. When they can't predict your next move, they can't counter it. Here's where it gets really interesting. Law 4 says, always say less than necessary. Information is the most powerful weapon, and the more you reveal, the more ammunition you give others to use against you. Law 5 is about reputation, and this one's huge. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Your reputation is the foundation of your power. Once it's damaged, everything else collapses like a house of cards. Law 6 might sound harsh. Court attention at all costs. Visibility equals power. If people don't see you, you don't exist in their calculations. Law 7 flips the script. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. It's about leveraging resources and understanding that in the game of power, results matter more than effort. Now we get to some really strategic thinking. Law 8 says, make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. When you make others react to you, you control the game. Law 9 warns us, win through your actions, never through argument. Arguments create enemies, but undeniable results create respect. Law 10 is about emotional control, infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Emotions are contagious, and associating with negative people can drag down your own prospects. Law 11 teaches us to learn to keep people dependent on you. When people need you, they can't easily discard you. Here's a big one. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. A single honest gesture can cover for dozens of dishonest ones. Law 13 says, when asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. People are motivated by what benefits them, not by what they owe you. Law 14 might be the most important for survival. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Information gathering is constant in the power game. Law 15 is ruthless but realistic. Crush your enemy totally. Leaving an enemy half destroyed creates future danger. They'll recover and remember. Law 16 uses absence to increase respect and honor. Sometimes disappearing makes you more valuable than always being available. Law 17 keeps people off balance. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. When people can't predict you, they stay cautious and respectful. Law 18 warns against isolation. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. You need allies and information, and walls keep both out. Law 19 is about understanding personalities. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Some people are more dangerous than others. Law 20 says, don't commit to anyone. Independence is power. The moment you commit fully to one side, you lose leverage with everyone else. Law 21 is about perception. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. People love feeling superior, and underestimating you gives you a massive advantage. Law 22 teaches surrender as a power move. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. Sometimes retreating strategically sets you up for a bigger victory later. Law 23 is about focus. Concentrate your forces. Scattered efforts produce scattered results. Law 24 might be the most practical. Play the perfect courtier. Master the art of indirection, flattery, and timing. Law 25 is about reinvention. Recreate yourself. You can design your own identity and become who you choose to be. Law 26 keeps your hands clean. Keep your hands clean. Let others do the dirty work while you maintain your reputation. Law 27 exploits people's need to believe. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. People want to believe in something bigger than themselves. Law 28 is about commitment. Enter action with boldness. Bold moves are respected. Hesitation invites attack. Law 30 emphasizes planning. Plan all the way to the end. Think through the consequences before you act. Law 30 makes difficult look easy. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. People are more impressed by natural talent than obvious effort. Law 31 is about controlling options. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. When you set the parameters, you control the outcome. Law 32 tells us to play to people's fantasies. People want to escape reality, and whoever provides that escape gains power over them. Law 33 finds everyone's weakness. Discover each person's thumbscrew. Everyone has pressure points. Law 34 is about image. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. How you present yourself determines how others treat you. Law 35 teaches patience. Master the art of timing. Perfect timing multiplies the power of any action. Law 36 uses strategic ignorance. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. Don't give your enemies the satisfaction of knowing they've affected you. Law 37 creates compelling spectacles. Create compelling spectacles. Visual impact often trumps logical argument. Law 38 advises blending in. Think as you like, but behave like others. Standing out for the wrong reasons can be dangerous. Law 39 stirs up waters to catch fish. Stir up waters to catch fish. Sometimes creating controlled chaos reveals opportunities. Law 40 warns against free things. Despise the free lunch. What costs nothing is worth nothing, and people value what they pay for. Law 41 avoids comparisons. Avoid stepping into a great person's shoes. Create your own path instead of trying to fill someone else's. Law 42 targets the troublemaker. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Sometimes one person is causing all the problems. Law 43 works on hearts and minds. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Emotional connection often matters more than logical argument. Law 44 uses the mirror effect. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Reflect people's behavior back at them to make them see themselves clearly. Law 45 preaches change carefully. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. People resist dramatic change. Law 46 warns against appearing too perfect. Never appear too perfect. Perfection creates envy and suspicion. Law 47 knows when to stop. Do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop. Overreaching often leads to downfall. The final law, number 48, might be the most important. Assume formlessness. Be flexible, adaptable, and ready to change with circumstances. Rigid structures break under pressure, but flexible ones bend and survive. Here's what all 48 laws reveal. The world runs on strategy, not emotion. Understanding this doesn't make you evil. It makes you aware. Power isn't bad, but power without awareness is dangerous. These laws aren't about manipulation. They're about protection and effectiveness in a world where everyone else is already playing by these rules, whether they admit it or not. Stay smart, stay aware, and use power to build, not destroy. Because in the end, the game of power never stops. But now you know the rules.